it going? Are you having a great evening? I hope so, because I know some people that aren't. James O'Keefe from Project Veritas is one of them. He is in Minneapolis with some of the worst people imaginable on planet Earth, leftists. Yeah, he's not having a good time. We're going to look at what happened with him. Apparently, he claims this never happened to him. He's been doing this undercover journalist work for more than a decade, and he never feared for his life like he feared in Minneapolis. Elon Musk actually tweeted this, so I think I can show it to you guys. Give me a second so I can get these weird numbers off the screen. And I also need to position myself correctly. Here we go. See, now that the Amalgamite isn't here, I can go back on my little rock. And I can read the news to you. Is this good? I think this is good. Okay, so, this is from Elon Musk, and he basically tweeted it out. James O'Keefe received a message saying, "We know you're in Minneapolis. You're with O'Keefe and his crew of Nazis. You're in a white Ford license plate from Florida. You have 1 hour to leave, or you are dead." And this is the message that O'Keefe... See, this is like, the left actually knows how to send proper death threats. You know, like, you genuinely fear for your life when you're really, like, these are professional individuals. Like, if you want to scare someone, you get a leftist. You get a decent human being. When you see a woman go, "Oh my goodness, he said on the internet KIWS, and I was so afraid." It's like, no, that's a right-winger. No, that's a right-winger, like a real revolutionary leftist, a man that votes Democrats. He knows how to instill the fear of God into people, like he did with O'Keefe. O'Keefe is actually afraid for himself now, so yes. When you go full tolerant, no, they're not tolerant at all. They're like extremely intolerant. I never understood like how the leftists managed to brand themselves as tolerant, because they're radicals, right? When did the left tolerate anything? They can't even tolerate J.K. Rowling. Like, what are we talking about? Call that number. It's been disconnected. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a way to spoof numbers or make sure that they can't be traced. Because, like, you don't send a death threat like that if you just use your own personal cell phone. You know that they're going to try to call it or trace it. The thing that's happening in Minneapolis, from what I saw, and this is me watching the Twitter feed for the last couple of weeks, it seems to be that the activists are insanely organized. Like, these aren't just people that one day were upset about what ICE is doing in their cities, and so they decided to go out to protest. No, like, these are individuals that operate like a military. Like, they were drilled for this. They lived for this. Someone funded so that this happens. And some of the explanations that I saw from people that do live in Minneapolis, they say it's like, look, you cannot, like, you can join some protests. Like, there are some protests where civilians are allowed to join, and those are the protests that the mainstream media usually films from the top. Like, they have drone footage to show how many people are there. You know, that's where people just come in with their families. But there are other protests that you cannot join. And you see that everyone that's there, they have a purpose. There is organizers like commissars going through the ranks, making sure that everyone is in their place. Why do they do that? They do that because they want narrative control. Like, the only information that gets out has to be the information they want people to see. And so when a journalist comes in, they want to make sure that the journalist talks to a person that's well-spoken, that knows the lines, that's not going to be an embarrassment. They don't want the situation like when you go to a right-wing protest and you see the journalist go after a guy that's bald and has a swastika tattoo on his forehead, right? So you have like 100,000 of protesters that are normal people, and the journalist just picks the one that's the Nazi. And he then paints the entire protest as that guy. This is what Justin Trudeau did with the truckers, if you guys remember. Like, they managed to find some guys with the swastika. And they were like, the truckers are Nazis, even though like they weren't protesting that. They were protesting just the pandemic measures. And so the left in this thing, like they want complete and total narrative control. Apparently, if you go past some of their protests with cameras and stuff, and you're not one of them, they tell you to turn it off. They're very violent. They're very aggressive. They have social media apps where they're tracking where the ICE agents are. And this is where they did mistakes. They went after civilians that they thought are ICE agents. They harassed them in restaurants. They harassed people that had a freedom hoodie. If you dress anyway as a Republican, like that's not allowed in Minneapolis anymore. Democracy is dead. Only one party, one rule. And on top of that, they want you to care, right? Like, despite the fact that whenever a journalist gets assaulted, whenever a Trump supporter gets harassed on the streets, they want you to care when they get brutalized by the cops. That's literally all they're trying to do. They're trying to be antagonistic against the police officers. And when they get brutalized or something, it's like, oh, look at what Trump is doing. Don't you care? Oh, please, care. Like, go out in the street and protest as well, because our lives are in danger. That's the tactic, right? Now, you cannot be a victim and also be an aggressor. I already talked about it. I'm not going to mention it again. But the whole interesting thing when you look at it is that ICE usually operates in states that are closer to a border, like Texas, right? ICE operation in Texas are staggering in number. There's a lot of arrests that ICE does there. Probably 400% more than in Minnesota. I haven't checked, I will look, but I'm pretty sure the numbers are disparaging in contrast. Why is it that Texans aren't on the street? Why is it that Texans aren't rioting? Like why is it that ICE agents seem to behave very well in Texas? They're not shooting anyone. They're not causing any problems, right? Like, but for some fucking reason, it's only Minneapolis. Did you notice that? Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that omoshiroi? So where you would expect ICE to fuck up due to the volume, right? Like if you have, let's say, 10,000 arrests, like you'd expect at least 10 to go wrong. But when you have like a smaller number of arrests, oh no, that's where the problems are. That's where the nation is on fire. Like, you can see through the propaganda for anyone that's paying attention. It is so pathetic. Like, when they did the thing with George Floyd, like, that was good propaganda. That worked. When they did the pandemic, that was good propaganda. It worked. This is the most pathetic propaganda. You can see why Tim Walz has to go. Like, he can't even do leftist propaganda properly. Like, he can't even organize the leftists on the street to talk about compassion and empathy like they used to. They're not singing "We Will Overcome" properly. Like, something is going wrong there. Good day, Romania. Well, thank you, Jankos. Texas and most of the southern states are frozen right now. Well, isn't it, like, cold in Minneapolis as well? Like, I do see people wearing jackets. Last time I checked, most people actually go with cars and shit. Like, you can stay warm now, you know? You can have clothing that's appropriate for the winter. Texas aren't rioting right now because it's 10 degrees. Okay, how is it in Minneapolis? Like, let me check the temperature, because I think like we can go on Weather Wizard or some shit. What is the current temperature in Minneapolis? All right, so it's minus 16 in Minneapolis. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, don't give me the weather bullshit. It's like leftists are too cold to riot. Leftists riot every day of the week if they have to. No, it's actually colder apparently. If you told me that it's minus 10 in Texas, and you're correct, according to Weather Wizard, it's minus 16 in Minneapolis. It's not a different continent, right? Like, they're not in the Ecuador so that you can say it's sunny in the middle of January. Like, no, it's still the middle of winter. Maybe it's not as bad as in Texas. Okay, like, I can give you that. You know, like, maybe due to the geography, maybe it's like 4 degrees colder in Texas than it is in Minneapolis. But it's still fucking cold. The weather report. Yes, I actually have to tell you how cold it is in your country. It's minus 15 here in Amherst. I don't use F. Like, I don't know what F is. The only way to measure temperature is C from Celsius. Okay, like, we have standard units of measurements. Please use them correctly. But yeah, minus 15 Celsius. That's pretty cold, right? Minnesotans are very winter-wise. When it snows or ices over in places like Texas, people lose their minds. So, like, you're trying to tell me that Texas is like the United Kingdom of Great Britain? Oh, sorry, it's like the United Kingdom of the United States? Because, like, in Britain, if they have a single snowflake, that kisses the ground, they shut down the schools, they shut down the hospitals, emergency everywhere. To be fair, though, I watched something when I was in Britain last time, and I was looking at Sargon, and I was saying, I genuinely don't understand your people. And I said, look, you people are insane. Like, literally. The reason I'm saying this, when I went to London, not last time, but the time before, and I met Sargon, it was in winter. And I don't know exactly what the weather was like, but the streets were frozen. Like, literally frozen. You could see your reflection if you looked in the street. And I noticed that none of the cars had tire chains. Not a single one had tire chains. And I'm like, okay, I mean, well, I guess, whatever. But then you notice that they were driving at 50 kilometers an hour. And I'm saying, like, are you insane? Like, what? And Sargon is like, well, they're going slow. And I'm like, they're not going slow for the meteorological conditions, dumbass. Like, if you notice that the road is glass, you're supposed to drive with 20 kilometers, 10 kilometers an hour. Like, I don't care how fucking slow you're driving so you don't get killed. Like, okay, well, what happens if someone jumps in front of them? Are they going to skate to win? Like, apparently, yes. It's like, I couldn't cross the street. No, seriously, like, I couldn't cross the street without, like, being very careful that I'm not going to break my neck. That's how ice cold it was. And it brought me the question, like, do you guys not salt the streets? And he looked at me like I'm talking some sci-fi shit. It's like, yes, in Romania we have a car, right? Kind of like, imagine like a garbage truck, right? And they literally go and pour salt on the streets so that the ice melts so that people don't die. And now I understand why Britain closes down the schools and they're freaking out every single time there's a snowflake. It's because they literally do not know how to deal with it. Like, they're not civilized when it comes to winter. It's just city people? What do I write about for you? Ask Jankus about ice. You need to write about ice. Minus 11 Celsius here in Jersey. Yeah, it's a pretty cold winter. Like, I wonder where is this global warming going to happen? Like, if it brings me warmer winters, isn't that a good thing? Britain salts the streets. Well, I've not seen it happen. Like, you do not get streets that look like glass if you salt the streets. Like, these things are incompatible. I wonder why all your crops are dead. We do not grow crops on the fucking sidewalk. I don't know, like, how you guys do it in Britain. But here in Romania, we have, like, this thing called the rural area. And in the rural area, we have this thing called fields, right? We don't salt the fields. The fields are fine. You don't salt them. You salt the streets in the cities. Those are different. We do not grow crops on the streets in the cities. Oh, yeah, go ride your bike. See, like, this is another thing that I love. It's when people say, oh, environmentalism is great. You just have to ride bikes. You know, instead of having a car, just ride a bike. And I'm looking outside. It's minus 17 Celsius. The streets are salted, but they're still icy. And it's like, yeah, well, what a great day to ride a bike. Sent to you 2 photos of the snow we just got this morning. Let me check. Okay, so we're going to look at the snow in New York. Yeah, it kind of looks, I'm not going to kid, like, it looks very, very similar to Romania. Apparently, when I'm going to describe how how Romania is like to a foreigner, I'm going to say, well, think about New York in the middle of the winter. Isn't this, by the way, chat, isn't this like Home Alone levels though? Like you only need the lady with the pigeons. Yeah, this is kind of how it looks in my neighborhood as well. Sometimes we get it worse. Like sometimes the snow gets a little bit higher. Sometimes if you're not careful, you can get entombed. I heard that a streamer, like, who was the streamer that was, like, depressed and he got entombed into the snow? Like, even Glovo didn't come to deliver food for him. Was it Leafy? Yeah, it's very similar to Eastern Europe. Arch keeps bragging that in his case is worse, and I'm like, why the fuck do I care? Anyway, let's look at the whole thing with O'Keefe, because everyone is here now, so we can actually listen to what he is saying. Let me know if you guys can hear him. It's just audio only. Hold on, give me a second.
The scene of the shooting, covering it this morning, and basically we barely got out of there alive. There were a few hundred that surrounded us, started throwing ice bottles at us. A few hit us, hit our vehicle. They were trying to rip off my bulletproof vest, so we got out of there. We were followed, we were tailed, and here we are right now. We just got this message, and it says, we know that you're in Minneapolis. You're with O'Keefe and his crew of Nazis. You're in a white Ford license plate. They actually wrote the license plate down from Florida. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead. You have 1 hour to leave or you're dead. We are going to produce our footage, gathering everything we've got from this weekend. We're going to put our report together along with the hidden camera footage that we have. We still have undercover people in the field. Please pray for my team's safety. This is worse than anything I could have possibly imagined. I have security with me, former Marine, and he said that it was worse than overseas, and it was certainly anything worse than I've seen in the cartel border. We're going to contact law enforcement, DHS, and the FBI, and we're going to try to get out of here safely.
You know, the thing with O'Keefe is that there is a chance, it's not impossible, right? There is a chance that he faked that death threat. But here's the thing, the left have tried discrediting him constantly for the last decade, and every single time he came on top. So, like, at this point, yeah, I'm more likely to believe that the death threat is real, especially after the standard that the left created, believe all women, and, you know, we live in a world where I can't tell what a woman is, so James O'Keefe may very well be a woman, and I have to believe her. So yeah, no, I do think that the threat is real. Echo with no video. I already said there's no video. There's no video. It's a video that shows violence. I can't show that on YouTube. Did you see his ex-employer sending him salty messages? I did not. Did he accidentally show that? That's funny. Yeah, basically he is saying that he never saw something so bad, and that there was a person that sent the message, I know you're with those Nazis at Project Veritas. If you don't get out of the car in 1 hour, you're dead. So the person probably did get out. But yeah, Minneapolis, it's pretty bad. Apparently one of the protesters bit off the finger of an ICE agent. So we actually have videos of that. Again, I can't show them on YouTube because they're very grotesque. But I'm told that by terms of service, you cannot call human beings animals, which is like fine. But how do you call someone that bites another man's finger off? Like, do they maintain their humanity before and after? Like, how does it work? I need confirmation from YouTube. Now, I wanna show you something else, right? This is how the left is trying their best in order to antagonize the law enforcement agents so that they can have footage in order to show to people and get more people involved into their activism. So ICE appears to have shot and killed someone. I haven't even fact-checked. Like, I haven't even looked, but I automatically assume that the person must have done something. Apparently, they have the gun. So, yeah, I mean, I do expect that any type of person that has a gun and pulls it on a police officer, they will get shot. Any nation on planet Earth, right? This is not like a Minneapolis thing. This is not an ICE thing. It's not even like a law enforcement thing. Like, if you pull a weapon on another person, they have the right to defend themselves. And so, I need context. You can't just say, well, someone got shot. It's like, okay, if someone gets shot, there could be a legitimate reason for someone to get shot, in which case it may even be a good thing, right? This is why we have laws. This is why, like, we already assume that, yes, like, in some situation, if an attacker tries to kill someone and they get shot, the person is called a hero. Like, they're actually rewarded, right? Like, if you shoot a terrorist, like, you're actually rewarded. Eh? That's a good thing. You saved lives. Or it could be an illegal thing, right? So, after seeing how much stuff happened in Minneapolis, I assumed, well, maybe the police officer was actually operating under the law. Turns out he was. But there is also another thing, right? In the last week, I saved a couple of videos showing how protesters were harassing civilians. And not only that, but like leftists on Reddit and Twitter were actually cheering. They were happy that it happened. They were glorifying. This is the word they used. They were glorifying violence and terrorism. And this is a guy, I don't know who he is, but I understand he's like an agitator, like a Christian or someone, like an individual that most likely I wouldn't get along with. But he was physically dragged by the mob against his will and beaten up. Why? Because he burned the Quran. And so let's analyze it, right? Like, because we care about law and we care about proper procedure and everything. It's like, do political right-wing extremist agitators have a legal right to be on the street? Yes. Do they have a right in America to burn any type of literature they want? Anything, including the American Constitution, the American flag, the Quran. Like, is it legal? Yes. Is it legal for protesters to try and lynch someone? No. Okay, so the protesters were in the wrong once. Another time, they got and they harassed individuals that were at a restaurant thinking they're ICE agents. Were they wrong? Yes. They went into a church. They harassed the church. Were they wrong? Yes. So, like, the protesters are constantly, non-stop, systemically harassing citizens. And for some reason, I don't see Brian. I don't see any Hollywood actor. I don't see anyone condemning, right? Because, like, these people are really, really anal about the law. Like, they genuinely want illegals to be deported and they want the law to happen. Just like, they don't want abuses. That's how they're selling themselves, right? Like, they don't want abuses. And it's like, if you don't want abuses, why aren't you consistent? Like, why can't you call the abuse when it happens on your side? Oh, it's because you want your side to do the abuses. And look here, you know, like, didn't go well, bitch ass. And this is why I said, this is why everyone shrugs and keeps voting right wing, even if you guys get brutalized by cops. You can't cry victim while being the aggressor. Simple as. And it's true, like, people cannot sympathize for the bully. Right? Like, if a classmate gets beaten up, that's horrible. But if the bully that constantly beats up people and then he gets beaten up by another bully, some people will say, okay, well, that's not nice, shouldn't happen. But you're not going to see, like, the same level of empathy, compassion, and support for the school bully. A lot of people will say, well, maybe it's karma. Maybe the universe finally responded. SRC Maker, thank you for the $10. They need to do what the protesters at the Standing Rock protest did back in 2016. Sent you a video clip, I say, from YouTube back with a dude getting a beanbag in the cock. I can't show this on YouTube. I need to start streaming somewhere else. Protester shot with a beanbag in the dick at the Dakota Access Pipeline protests. Yeah. No, like, the thing is, if you know the tactic they're doing, like, look, there are times when people, like, actually are upset and they go protesting. And despite the fact that they're protesting, the cops violate their rights. Okay, that's outrageous. But when you know that people go out of their way in order to protest something that you don't think should be protested, like, most people don't think that criminals shouldn't be deported. Most people don't believe that if a child molester happens to be found, that he should be left alone and they shouldn't get deported, right? Like, the very concept of the protest is something that most people don't agree with. And so, you know why they're protesting, you know what they're doing, Like, these aren't people like chanting, asking the governor to step down. They're not talking about certain reforms that they don't like. No, what they do is they're trying to antagonize the ICE agents, preventing them from doing their job. Regardless of who the ICE agents are coming after, they're surrounding the vehicles. They want to get hit. They want to get any type of footage where one of them becomes a martyr in order to incite a statewide protest. So if you know that, do you have to play? Like, do you actually have to get emotionally invested, and do you have to complain when it happens? Like, no, you know, like, Blade Trader, thank you for the 70s audience. Bet you half the protesters are fresh off a bus to Minneapolis. Chances are they actually may be from there. Take into account that these are genuinely like Democrat operatives, and they seem to believe in the stuff. The interesting thing is, like, unlike Black Lives Matter, this is not nationwide. Like, it's literally localized in Minneapolis, and I pointed this out. It's like, why don't you see this happening in Texas? Like, there's a lot more arrests and a lot more ICE presence in Texas. It's not happening in Texas. It's only happening in Minneapolis. But yes, it's possible that some of them actually do come from other places. It's not unlikely. It is definitely extremely well organized, and it seems to be funded by someone. Because, like, you can't have people on the street if they don't, like, they still need to work, right? They still need to make money. So, like, how do you have, like, so many people on the street nonstop? The only respectable Romania, says Sixton. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat. Okay. I think that's pretty much it with Minneapolis. We'll see what O'Keefe has to say. Oh, never mind. There's one more message from Mr. Yuri. This one is also interesting.
We must speak out. We must speak out against injustice. I know that this is not new for large swaths of the American people, but every day that we stay silent, it makes it easier for them to shoot us in the streets and round us up and genocide entire peoples.
This is such an extremist, demagogue type of speech. Like, who is us? Who is them? Who is getting genocided? Like, you understand what that word is? Like ICE agents do not, systematically murder people door to door. They deport people. So unless you're suggesting that outside America the apocalypse happened and they're being, like, deported to the no-man land, to the Badlands, this is insane. Like, this rhetoric causes stochastic terrorism. If a right-winger was to do this in 2018 under the Jack Dorsey era, he would be banned. And look at the soulless eyes. Do you know why the soulless eyes exist with a lot of leftists? It's because they're reading from a prompter. They're not talking from their heart. They don't genuinely, like, feel what they're saying. What's happening is that they're actors acting a part. Like, it's probably someone paid him for this. Or if not paid, like, he's getting a favor or something. Like, people who are genuinely concerned, they would go out, like, look, even Hassan Piker, right? Like, even Hassan Piker. You can see that he actually believes the things he is saying, or at least pretends to. His body language, the inflection in his voice, his eyes, like, he's genuinely passionate. I don't agree with him. I think he's a bad person. But, like, he is passionate about what he is saying. This guy is not passionate at all. Like, this guy is just, like, reading from a script, and he is reading one of the most extremist statements that I have ever heard on the internet in the last year.
We must speak out, and we have to take care of each other. I implore you, if you are an American citizen, call this next week, every day, call your senators and tell them no more money for ICE.
Right, so again, like, no reform. Not like, okay, this officer did something bad, he needs to be held accountable. It's just like, no more deportations, right? Like, if the cartels were to smuggle people into America, they have to stay in America. Like, leave those cartels alone. Just leave them alone. So, like, no counter solution. And you're just basically saying, okay, well, this is a problem. It has to be dismantled. It's like me saying, okay, so I went to the doctor, and the doctor gave me bad medicine, and so we need to dismantle the entire medical industrial complex. Like, just no more doctors. We need to stop doctors giving bad recipes to people. And here's the thing. If you actually do an audit in the medical industry, do you think you're not going to find malpractices? Do you not think, like, you're going to find corrupt doctors? You're not going to find, like, doctors that botch surgeries and shit? Of course. So, like, imagine taking, like, 2 or 3 such events and then concluding we must dismantle the medical system. Like, doctors shouldn't be allowed to exist. Call your senators. Call everyone. Say no more money to hospitals. These are killing people, blah, blah, blah. This is what he's doing, right? This is the logic. This is the same principle, the same concept. And it's batshit insane when you talk about the medical complex. But for some reason, it's not batshit insane when you talk about the officers enforcing the nation's laws. Like, without ICE, you're basically saying that the laws are binding for citizens. Because if you're a citizen and you break the law, you go to jail, you go to prison. But if you're an illegal, the laws are suggestions. They're absolute suggestions. Like, no one is going to come after you. No one is going to arrest you. No one is going to do shit. This is the type of system that he wants to create, where citizens are punished and non-citizens, well, they get treated differently.
No more. We will not stand for it. And please, take care of each other. Look, I know it's going to be uncomfortable. I don't like calling those people. I don't like getting angry at people on the phone. But they need to know. Get used to getting uncomfortable, because this is not normal.
This is, again, leftist talking points. Getting used to being uncomfortable, making people uncomfortable. Literally the academic word, the buzzword. But the interesting thing is, like, this is not normal. Like, what is not normal? Criminals commit crime and then they get punished. Which part do you not think is normal? Like which part on this chain disappoints you so much? Right? What would you have different? Criminals do crime and are left alone? I don't know. Are there, like, see, another question. Is there any type of crime? Like, literally any type of crime where they would say, yeah, okay, this guy has to be deported. I think that is, though. I think that is far right. Or praying to Jesus. Like, if you had, like, the Democrats actually started deporting people from Cuba. So, this is funny. After they realized that a lot of Cubans vote right-wing, and apparently, like, the number was so high, they swung Florida, and they got DeSantis elected. They then said, you know what? Maybe we don't like Cubans so much. And so all of a sudden, Cubans, like, I'm sorry, you're out. White farmers from South Africa also, you know, I think they can be deported too. Yes, I think they're bad people. They suffer from historical racism. They cause generational trauma to the black people in South Africa. They can be deported. But, like, everyone else is an angel. Like, no illegal would ever commit a crime. Like, you know, they're all insanely nice. Unlike American citizens, they work for below minimum wage, hardworking individuals. They never grift. They never commit crimes. Jesus fucking Christ.
This is not how it's supposed to be. And the more we strive for normal, the easier we make it for them. So please, take care of each other.
The thing is, like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Obama deported people as well. Like when was it that people weren't deported? Like, was there a single time in human history where it was like, open the borders and let them in, and, like, let's turn our immigration customs into suggestions? SRC Maker, thank you for the $20. These Democrat operatives need to take a look at the 70s, protesting no kings. They're still poor 50 years later. Go get a real job before you end up poor retiree protesters screaming at the void. Useful idiots. Well, I generally, like, don't know if the professional protesters don't have other jobs. I genuinely think, like, they're already poor, and so they're thinking, okay, well, I get some money to do some protesting, and they take it. Like, for them, it's not ideological. For them, it's kind of like being a mercenary, you know, like, you take money from whomever pays you, and you perform whatever protest is required. The Native Americans didn't deport anyone, and look how that turned out. Oh. To be fair, I think they did actually. They didn't deport, they just killed the person and put their heads on a pike. There was that game, Civilization. My fucking god, it was such an amazing game, and I don't think we'll ever get a sequel. But the idea was that you're playing as a European power. You're trying to colonize the New World. It was a Civilization mod. And when you went to the New World, you had just indentured servants and colonists. And they weren't good at the stuff that they were doing. So, like, if you wanted to make a colonist to learn how to fish or to learn how to plant, you would send them to an Indian village. And he would spend time with the Indians and he would learn. Now, if you attacked those Indians while you had colonists in the village, they would just kill your guy. So, would put his head on a pike. So, like, I guess, like, that's their version of deportations, right? You're going to have to hear that shit in college, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, the reason they're pulling this in Minneapolis and they're not pulling it anywhere else is because the police are on their side. Is the governor. Like, the government made public statements. Tim Walz actually went in front of the camera and made public statements encouraging people to do violence against ICE. And so you have the police that actually defends the rioters that are attacking the ICE agents. So in a way, the police aren't attacking ICE, but the government is making the perfect conditions for organized civilians to basically, like, launder the government suppression against the feds. It's so obvious what's happening, and I'm pretty sure that the feds know what's happening. I definitely, like, don't know how courageous an ICE member needs to be in order to operate in such a scenario. Like, you're tracked, you're harassed, everything you do is being tracked. And I am curious to see what Trump's response is going to be, because, like, he can't allow states to behave like this. Like, it sets an actual precedent. The interesting thing, like, Trump should act the same way a Democrat would act. Like, if you try pulling this shit on Hillary Clinton, like, let's be honest for a second, right? Let's say that the Democrats would want to deport some people. Maybe, you know, they want to deport Cubans from Florida or some, whatever, right? If you're a governor and you tried this thing with the Democrats, they would fucking crush you. Like, their entire bureaucracy and mainstream media would just fucking crush you. They would find out who's supporting these protests, they would debank them, they would hit them with RICO charges, they would start arresting people associated with the governor. They would have, like, their own individuals that would try to cancel culture anyone that associates with you. Even if they're lawyers, even if they're, like, just normal aides or whatever, they would try to get their businesses canceled. They would intimidate the lawyers' customers. That's what the Democrats would do, right? And so, like, the right-wingers, they have to act like Democrats. They have to do exactly the same thing because that's what works. No one had offended me. No one have offered me a free sign or gas mask. Go away, paid protesters. Trump needs to invoke the Insurrection Act. I think it's kind of difficult to do it. You're doing it before the midterms, and so, like, it can literally impact your election depending like how it carries out. Because the thing is, like, you're the president, right? Like, you invoke the Insurrection Act. You don't know what happens. You don't know, like, maybe the soldiers go in and they actually shoot someone, right? And the mainstream media makes it look very bad. Maybe the soldiers don't follow through. Like, you're signing the Insurrection Act, you sign the paper, the general says, no, I'm not doing it. That is a possibility. It's not likely, but it is a possibility. And so, I think he tries to exhaust every single option before the Insurrection Act, because it's not like a video game. You know, it's not like playing Tropico and you're just signing the decree and things happen. In the real world, there is a bureaucracy, there's people with competing interests. You may not have generals that are loyal to you. And so, signing the Insurrection Act would be a big deal. Like, it would be a historical thing, right? Minneapolis is not a real state. Yeah, basically, like, a lot of people would go home when they realize there's consequences. I do agree with that. Let me check to see if I have some other news. Yeah, I do have something actually. This is from the UK.
Now, you were talking about the use of technology in policing, but what do you say to voters that might think that sounds a bit creepy? You know, the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood is watching you.
Well, I think that my quote should be read in context. I was talking about the fact that given that the prison system has been on the brink of collapse and this government has had...
So let me get this straight. Like, I'm just trying to understand the math here. Okay, like maybe someone can walk me through it. If you have population decline, like that means that the new generation will have a lot more space than the previous one, right? Because like the previous generation, they were more numerous, so they had to build more houses, more hospitals, more prisons, like more everything, right? Because like there were a lot of people. And then you have population decline, so you have a lot of free space. Like picture it this way: imagine you live in a big family, right? And the big family bought a manor with like 8 rooms. Like you live in a big mansion with 8 rooms. But they didn't have children, so you're inheriting a house with 8 rooms. Like you have a lot of space, right? So how the fuck, if you have population decline, are your prisons collapsing? Like, right? Like, does that make any sense? Because like you have prisons for a much larger population than you have now. So if the population, if the prisons are collapsing, it means that you brought in so many other people, right? Because like there's 2 ways for the population to increase. One is through birth, like people have children, but that's not what's happening. People aren't having more children. You are importing constantly people in, and you're saying that you've imported so much that the prison system is collapsing. Okay, so what is the solution for this?
To stop the collapse of our prison system. We've obviously brought in changes to sentencing, which will bring in more community sentences. And I think that...
Right, so your problem isn't like, how do we get crime down? Your problem is like, how do we make it so that the prison system don't collapse? We have community-based sentencing. Do community-based sentencing reduce crime? Like, have you studied this? Or is it like just something that you hide under the rug? Like, you have a problem with people that are committing crime. There's too many of them. The prison system is bad. Like, what do? Do we build more prisons? No, we just do community-based sentencing. Not to mention, how is this just? Like, can you imagine you're a person that did the crime and did the time? You know, like, fair enough. Fair enough, you did the crime. You knew exactly what the punishment is. You did your time. And now you find out that another person for the same crime, they don't go to prison. They don't suffer as much as you did. They just serve their sentence at home.
Technology has the potential, the next generation of tagging and other developments, to make sure that actually if somebody is serving a sentence outside of prison, the eyes of the state can still be on that person.
So I just want to show how disgusted I am of this, right? Like using technology like Big Brother. And I want to show you how these people are doing it step by step. First of all, no one wants the government to spy on them, right? Absolutely, no one wants to go on the internet to be tracked, to be spied. And so, what is the government doing? Well, it's using these stooges, right? Like these stooges right here. I don't know who this gentleman is, but like his ideology, knowingly or not, is helping the governments accomplish this. Ban porn on X. These are the people that are so obsessed with pornography that they just can't let it go. Like they would rather create a fascist state. They will create a fascist internet rather than just deal with porn the same way that we've dealt for the last 2 decades. Like, first of all, I just even want to look at this. Porn on X. You don't get porn on X unless you look for it. It's already walled off. Like, the only way you can get it is if you know the artist's name. In fact, like, most of the artists now, they are so shadow banned that even if you type their name in the search engine, you don't get it. Like, seriously, what is this obsession with going after vices? What is it with the Americans? If they're not going after alcohol, if they're not going after violence, they must go after pornography. What is next? Like, what is the next vice that you're going to go? Like, gambling? Like, can they genuinely, like, not survive in a society knowing that temptation exists and they don't have to go for it? And what is this nonsense? It's like ban porn from the internet. Okay, so you want people to go back to strip clubs and whorehouses like my grandfather did? Like, I'm not kidding. My grandfather would have nothing but disgust and disrespect for this generation. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Just go to an actual whore. Just go outside, pay a woman, have actual sex. Why are you looking at pictures on your computer? You do understand they're not real, you idiot. Like, that woman from your computer screen, even if she's like an OnlyFans girl, she's not going to find... Go outside, go to a brothel, go to Germany. Be normal. Just please, fucking hell, be normal. Like, that's how my grandfather would think, right? But the thing is, like, most of this industry, which is the oldest profession on earth for a reason, used to be on the street, right? Now, you have internet, you have... well, actually, before the internet, you had the hotlines. You have internet, you have magazines, the industry starts dying down. It's not dead, but they're losing customers, right? Like, if people can just sit at home and watch it, they're not going to go out to a brothel. The industry on the internet is dying anyway because now you have AI. Even if you do this, boomer, like I know boomers think, oh, ban Pornhub because that's where the internet porn is. Even if you do that, people now have offline AIs. You can download an AI onto your computer offline on a laptop and generate shit like this, but with cocks and dicks in it. Like this thing that you generated, you probably use Grok. Most people don't even have to use Grok anymore. They can download the software on a laptop and generate images, videos, text, whatever. That is the future. How are you going to ban that? No, you can't ban that, right? So why the fuck are we even having the conversation? Why are these people so uneducated? Like, I'm not saying they're uneducated because they read the Bible. I'm saying they're uneducated because they don't fucking understand technology. Like, the only thing they understand is their Bible and their desire to show that they're more moral than me. They may be more moral than me, but they're much more tech illiterate than me. And they do not understand the desire to goon. Like, their piety, their religious fervor pales in comparison with the desire to goon. If you ban it from the internet, people are going to do it offline. Let me put it this way. In maximum security prisons, there is still pornography. You still have hentai in maximum security prisons. How do you think it gets there? Now, the reason I'm saying this is not because, so you're a gooder. First of all, I'm a straight man with a functioning sex drive, okay? Like, yes, I have needs and urges, and there's only two type of people on planet Earth. The ones that admit it, and the ones that are ashamed by it, which is fine. But, like, let's not pretend we're all angels here. The reason that really pisses me off is because I see the governments now trying to remove internet anonymity, right? I see this shit happening in the UK. And by the way, notice how Australia, the UK, and certain American states already pushed for robust age verifications. Are there kids online still? Yes. People have installed VPNs. Is Pornhub still exist? Yes. But what happened? Well, adults now have to dox themselves whenever they use the internet. So an extra layer of anonymity and security was pissed away by people like that guy. Which probably doesn't want to accomplish this, you know, like, I'm willing to say, no, like, he's with Jesus, right? Like, Jesus is against pornography. But apparently Jesus is being used by these people as a way to get it so that everyone has to dox themselves before they go online. It's fucking ridiculous. You know, like, and I would understand if you had, like, theocratic governments in charge, because then it's like, well, at least the Grand Patriarch happens to know whatever goes on the internet. But no, you have leftist governments, right? You have Australia, you have France, you have the European Union, you have Canada. All of these are leftist governments, and they're not interested in promoting Jesus. Anyway, let me go through some super chats really fast. We got holy shit, I can't pronounce this. We got Dilonilclian 6044. Prostitution is not the oldest profession. Hunting and fighting is. If there is a surplus of resources, yes, I do agree. It's not the oldest, it's one of the oldest. And I can prove scientifically that prostitution is not the oldest profession, because in order to get a prostitute, you have to pay her with something. And in order to pay her with something, it means that, well, you need a profession to get something. So probably hunting. I think hunting may have been the oldest profession, right? With prostitution, the second, because the prostitute requires something and you pay her with food. So there we go. Boog, thank you for the Mexican money. How are you going to afford AI-capable PC in the next 5 years when they cost as much as a car thanks to AI? Okay, let me show you how you can, right? Like it's not very difficult. Let me see if I can open something really quick. It's setting up, so. Okay. Right, so I want you to see this. This is commercial use. This is actually one of the easier ones to install. So as you can see, you have airplane mode, right? Airplane mode keeps data local, disabling cloud models and web search. So you click airplane mode, now it's offline. I have tried it as well. Like, I literally disconnected my internet cable. I don't use Wi-Fi for my PC. I use an internet cable. I plugged it off, right? It works. So you go here and you go say hello to my chat for me. And it works exactly like ChatGPT, right? I want you to roleplay Bulma from Dragon Ball for me as she is going to the beach. Right? Like, how are the Christians going to ban this? What are they going to do? Are they going to scream at my window telling me to shut it off? What if I don't want to shut it off? I'm just saying, like, it's not even about me, but it's like the principle. Like, this is where technology is at. And I have things that can do pictures. They can do movies. And they are offline. They're not connected to the internet. What are the Christians going to do? Pray harder? Fucking insane. Like, learn how technology works before you bitch and moan so that the government can just police the internet. You think like your kids are going to go on Pornhub? They're not. They're not going to go on OnlyFans either. They're going to create their own stuff. YouTube only lets me super chat if I don't include any of substance to it. You can just like super chat and then write something and I will read it. Yeah, you can run this shit on $100 laptop. Like, it's not expensive. Now, the thing is, if you want to run like something that role plays really well and is really descriptive and stuff like that, then yeah, sure, you may need a 380 Ti at least, and that may be expensive. But I guarantee you, like right now, there are two ways of trying to push the boundaries for AI. One is to make like a better ChatGPT, so like you get like a ChatGPT 6 or a Grok 4, right? Like you want models that hallucinate less, that have better safety features. The other one is like, how can you get the smartest model to run offline? And this is what Olama is. And the thing is, offline models do not need the safety railguards, because like a lot of the stuff that prevents the AI from doing hate speech, from doing political propaganda, all those things, they make the AI slower and they make the AI dumber. So if you have an offline AI that doesn't care about safetyism, well, that AI can actually run just as well as ChatGPT with less resources. Right now, you can make AI run with pretty much like ChatGPT 4 levels of intellect. It's not ChatGPT 5, like it's not going to be able to do that. But if you want it for smooth, if you just want to pork the AI, well, I mean, the technology is there. It doesn't matter if it's llama or not. Like, there are many models. I haven't looked into it because I'm generally like not interested in it. I already have a wife. Like, for me, it's just like curious if it works and how, so I can keep up with the technology. But there are many models. Like, I understand there are models for smooth, specifically designed for smooth. And you can run them on an offline laptop. And there's image generators as well. And so when I hear people, oh, you need to ban porn from it, like, get the fuck out. You're not going to ban porn. If they can't ban it in a prison, you're not going to ban it in a society. Yeah, the problem, you know what keeps smooth models from developing? Like, this is actually hilarious. Because I went on Reddit and I looked at what people are saying. Apparently, the only reason you can't get really good offline porn AI is that many people aren't bothering trying to develop it. And the reason people aren't trying to develop it is because Grok is already there. So, because people actually use Grok, there is no incentive, right? Because, like, necessity is the mother of invention. And so, as long as Grok exists and people can do smooth with it, there is no incentive to actually make an offline AI that does porn really well. Human tribes in the wild have none of these sexual issues. I mean, human tribes in the wild have completely different issues that we don't even have. The main problem here is, like, in our society we have people that want to avoid being held accountable. They're called politicians. And so they want to make sure that they control the internet so that you can't control them. And what politicians want is to decrease your living conditions. Now, it is true that our living conditions are better than the people that live in the wild, but I do notice that my lifestyle in 2026 is actually far worse than it used to be in 2020. And it's only because of politicians and their policies. And they're tightening down the internet so I can't complain. Right? And they're using pornography as a justification to tightening down internet and cracking down on internet anonymity. This is what it's about. As for the people that live in a jungle, I don't think they really care about heterosexual marriages and shit. Like, they probably have orgies and stuff. And they probably also, like, cheat on their wife and the other guy attacks him for doing it. So, I'm not sure, like, I would want that culture. I'm not saying it's wrong. I mean, I guess, like, our ancestors have gone through it. But there's reasons why we don't practice it anymore. And so, you need to understand, like, the way it used to work, especially, like, if you read history. When people talk about families, they didn't talk about a mother, a father, and a child. Like, no, families included first cousins, second cousins, like usually a clan of 25, 30 people. And so what happened is, like, when one person cheated, the other family viewed it as an honor slight, and they would try to kill that guy. And when that guy died, then the other clan started fighting with the other, and it ended up with many people dying. And so, isn't it better that, well, now people can just sit at home and watch pornography rather than cheating? I'm just saying, you know, it's... But if you actually want to know, like, pornography in the past, in tribal societies, I mean, there were whorehouses in Rome. If you actually Google, like, Rome penises and stuff, like, you're going to see many statues. Like, they have statues of penises that have, like, smaller penises attached to it with wings and shit. They have statues with tits. And so, I think that throughout human history, sexuality was part of human nature. Now, obviously, it needs to be controlled, right? Like, you don't want orgies on the street, you don't want Bacchus cults. But at the same time, Saint Aquinas said that the brothel is like the sewer from a palace. It's nasty, it smells, but it prevents flooding. And so, like, you don't want to crack down on a vice completely. You want to regulate, tax, and make sure that the vice is kept to acceptable levels. Americans notice with alcohol what happens when you crack down on it. They also experience it with marijuana. Marijuana is actually very interesting. I should look at the history of marijuana and to show why it got banned. It got banned for two reasons. Number one, it was competing with tobacco. And number two, it was associated with gang culture. And people wanted to blame. And so, like they said, gangs exist because of marijuana. They didn't say people that have money buy marijuana. And so, and they managed to push this resolution into the United Nations. And the United Nations then put marijuana next to other drugs. But in reality, if you actually look at the effects of marijuana, they're not worse than alcohol. Like, in fact, it's better if a person smokes marijuana than becomes an alcoholic. The health effects are far less. And a person that's an alcoholic is also potentially an aggressive person. Like, in some cases, people that have alcohol, they become violent. There is no person that smokes marijuana that goes violent. So anyway, I think we can end it here because I ran out of news. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this was entertaining. And